Now we are trying to insert titles into our projects, which is a main attractive thing which anyone likes to learn because we love to see the titles. Because sometimes people got attention really by looking at the titles and they got impressed and they love to continue the movies. And at the same time, you may want to insert credits at the end of the movie stating who all worked for the project. All this can be done with titles. So, where do you go and insert it? Here is the button. The first three icons which you see on the left hand side top, the third button is for titles. And you see the heading titles over here, and titles are separated by different categories. You can choose from any categories that you like. These are the built-in titles given in FCP, but still you can apply or add external titles which you may have to purchase. So let's see how we can add titles. So there are different ways to add a title. I'm going to show you the 3D title now. That's the first one shows up here. And if you click on this, if you skim over here, you can see the title which is showing up in your preview menu. So you can see what is this titles looks like. And next one, if you see, the name of this title is shows as fade 3D. There is a fading effect. If you come at the end, it's fading. So the name, by the name itself, you can understand how the title is going to be appeared in your project. So this is one way. You are going to skim through the titles and you are deciding which one to use. And now how you're going to add a title. My playhead is located here, so that's fine. And now to add a title, you just need to double click on it. If you double click, you see the title appeared over here. And place your playhead over there and then you can see the title. Fade 3D shows up here. And if you double click on this, you can edit it. You see that? You can edit this. And the same thing can be edited here in the inspector window. You can edit it from here too. So it's up to you where you want to edit. This is the primary way you can add a title. And if you want to delete a title from the storyline, you can just select it and then hit on your delete button on your keyboard. Sometimes you may want to add a title without going on all these steps. In that case, you can add basic titles by simply pressing on a shortcut key. That is Control T. So I'm here at my project. I'm just working on the project and I came across here and immediately I thought to add a title. So I just simply can press Control T. So if I press Control T, a default title is added. You see the default title here. Yes, the title is here. So you can simply press Control T at any point of time. So immediately the default title will appear here. So before you start a project, you can decide what is the default title that I want in this project. So how do you select it? You come here again before you start a project, and if you do control click over here, you can make it as a default title. You see default title. So now if I press on this, this is going to be the default title. I'm going to delete this and I'm going to press Control T again. Now if you see, the default title is Basic 3D. So any project, before you start, if you can decide on the default title, you do not need to go every time to this section to add a title. Instead, you can simply press Control T. So this is about the primary title. And sometimes you may not need the big title on your screen because this big title usually appears at the beginning. But in some cases, you may need only a lower third. So what's a lower thread? I will quickly show you that. If you come over here, there are something called lower thread. So this is a lower thread. I'm going to double click on it. And if you come here, the lower thread appears here. So basically, lower thread gives you a basic description of the scene that's currently on the viewer. So you can double click here and you can add it. And if you wanted to add a description, you still can make it. And again, you can quickly add a lower thread with a shortcut key. I'm going to show you that here. That is Control Shift T. So that's the key for lower third. As we did in the case of the title, you can make a default lower third by simply right clicking and making it as default one. So when you press Ctrl Shift T, default lower third appears here. And now next thing that I thought to show you is, what if you wanted to add the title as a clip in the primary line? Now if you see, we have added all these titles above the primary storyline. Now the question is, what if you need to add this as a primary item in the clip? Can you do that? Yes, you can do that. Let's see how we are going to do that. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to take the title and I'm going to drag this title and then place it here. So now what happens is this, if you play, you know that what's going to happen. The basic title appears here. So if you wanted to separate a section with the title in your project, you can do that with this drag and drop method. I'm going to Command C to undo it. And this drag and drop method works not only for your primary line, instead it will work on your storyline. Anywhere you can just drop it. You can place it at any position that you like.